The HBCU Storyteller of the Year Legacy Award posthumously recognizes outstanding members of the historically Black college and university community. This year, it is HBCU Story's privilege to pay honor to the lives of Dr. L.M. Collins, Miss Taronda Spencer, Mrs. Mary Yancey Love, Dr. Hazo W. Carter Jr., and Dr. Johnny B. Hodge Jr. Born on a farm in Summerville, Tennessee, Mary Alice Yancey Love didn't have to travel far to Tennessee A&I State University to know that she was going places. Listed as who's who among students in American universities and colleges by the time she graduated in 1952, she also received a master's degree from A&I in 1956. Marrying fellow alumnus Harold M. Love Sr. in 1959, Love helped her husband become the third ever African American elected to Nashville's first city council, a charter member of the inaugural Metro Nashville City Council. Affectionately known as Mama Love, Mary Alice Yancey Love loved her students. For 57 years, she taught at her alma mater, Tennessee State University, imparting to students not just a sense of their abilities mathematically, but a sense of their somebodyness. Her greatest student, however, might be her own son, Representative Harold M. Love Jr., who succeeded his father in the office of state representative. Their son, Representative Harold M. Love Jr., also a Tennessee State alumnus, proudly holds the same office today, making Mrs. Love the only woman to have been both a wife and the mother of a legislator in the state of Tennessee. North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University Director of BAN, Dr. Johnny B. Hodge Jr. was many things to the many students under his more than 2-decade-long leadership of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. A compassionate father, mentor, and friend, Doc Hodge was also called many other things. Doc, as he was affectionately known, was a man who valued discipline. He valued tradition. He valued dedication. These were things that he demanded of his students, both on the field and off the field, in the classroom and in the community. From his arrival on A&T's campus in 1980, the small band with the big sound was Doc's passion, his musical fury, shared by a group of battle-tested students and unleashed onto unsuspecting rivals and fan bases on any given Saturday afternoon. A driving force in band at historically Black colleges and universities during his tenure, Doc leaves behind a legacy of artistic innovation that lives on through his many students. And the Marching Machine. West Virginia President Emeritus Dr. Hazo W. Carter Jr. grew up on the campus of Tennessee A&I State, where his parents, Hazo Sr. and Elizabeth Forbes Carter, both worked. Graduating with a bachelor's degree in 1968, he received a master's degree from the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana the following year. After earning a doctorate of education from Vanderbilt University in 1975, he began his administrative career at Norfolk State University under President Harrison B. Wilson, whose mentorship guided him to a presidency at Philander Smith College. While in Norfolk, Carter met and fell head over heels for Phyllis Hardin, with whom he'd share a 32-year marriage and their daughter Angela. When Dr. Carter began his 25-year tenure as the 9th president of then West Virginia State College in 1987, desegregation rapidly and drastically changed the demographics of West Virginia State student body. Balancing serving a predominantly white, commuter, and older student body and preserving the school's historic mission was not easy. Even so, President Carter successfully led a 12-year quest to regain the institution's 1890 land grant status. One can find many detractors, but one can find fewer men who were more fitted or as equally fitted to lead West Virginia State from college to university status. His many other credits include the founding of the Business, Industry, and Education Cluster Program and the establishment of the National Center for Human Relations with his wife, Judge Phyllis Carter, in 1999. Before retiring in 2012, raising of the institution to university status was among his most cherished and enduring accomplishments. Alumna, archivist, and college historian Taronda Spencer's story is the story of Spelman College. A native of New Orleans, Spencer was the second-generation archivist daughter of Emanuela Spencer. Her mother's hope that she'd attend college close to home was lost to the beckoning of Spelman, where she entered as a student in the fall of 1976 on a full scholarship. As a student, she remained greatly influenced by Spelman alumna and Professor Millicent Dobbs Jordan, who first introduced her to the college. Spencer also began studying alongside alumna Ernestine E. Brazil, who was leading efforts to preserve the college's history and memorabilia for its centennial celebration. Following her graduation from Spelman in 1980, Spencer earned a master's degree from the University of New Orleans in 1985. In 1999, she was hired as Spelman College's first full-time archivist and was appointed college historian in 2000.
When people pick up books, the names of people like Taronda Spencer and legendary Fisk Archivist Beth, Madison, Howse are always in the fine print of those acknowledgement pages, but far too often they are not acknowledged enough. It is our great privilege to pay tribute to the life of Taronda Spencer, not only as a daughter of Spelman, but as the keeper of the Spelman past.
Known for her lively, passionate, and thorough oral presentations on Spelman's history and traditions, she routinely helped researchers, students, and anyone else who may have been looking not only find out about Spelman's past, she made them love the Spelman story. The largesse of Fisk University Professor Emeritus L.M. Collins, a man who was said to have walked between the raindrops, is still inspiring generations of Fiskites. So signature were his Tripoli hat and his greetings first class and friend, that the latter became his own special moniker. Having been among the first graduates to cross Dillard University's Avenue of the Oaks in 1936, Collins received a master's degree from Fisk in 1937. Awarded the nation's first Ph.D. in American culture from Case Western Reserve University in 1945, Collins began his legendary teaching career at Fisk the same year. As the cousin to novelist, poet, and librarian Arna Bontemps, his connection to the Harlem Renaissance through Fisk's golden era was easily impressive. Dr. Collins, who liked to point out that he was not old enough to be in the Renaissance, happily introduced subsequent generations of Fiskites to the people synonymous with the 1920s Black cultural, social, and artistic movement.
He was a man who chose to really cast his lot with the African American community at a time in which he probably could have passed for something other than African American. He prided himself on being meticulous in his dress, in his speech, in his carriage, in his intellectual development and refinements, and these are things that he will always be remembered for by sons and daughters of Fisk University.
The last of the Fisk immortals. His many students include the poet, writer, and activist Nikki Giovanni and HBCU Story founder Dr. Crystal DeGregory. On the 146th anniversary of the birth of Fisk alumnus Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, Collins peacefully transitioned from Fisk immortal to immortal life. We'd like to think that friend, who loved a good joke and a great party, couldn't miss even one more of Du Bois's birthday parties.